Hello there, extraordinary people. Happy Monday. It's Zainabu bringing you your Motivational Mondays. You are extraordinary. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you had an amazing weekend. And today I want to talk to you all about not having time to quit. There's no time to quit because I believe sometimes in situations like these and times like this uncertainty, we may want to crawl in a hole and fall into defeat and quit on maybe on certain things. But I want to encourage you today that this is actually a time not to quit. There's no time to quit. And really where that message is coming from, I was thinking about some verses in the Bible. As you all know, I am a woman of God. It's something that I'm not ashamed of. I am going to shout it out loud to the mountaintops because my relationship with God has helped me so much in just my personal being. And I pray and hope that each and every one of you out there will find some way where you can build a relationship with God, because it makes all the difference. Yes, things are not all just going to come easy. I know maybe even times right now people might ask, well, if God is such a wonderful God, if he's such a good God, why would he allow the coronavirus to happen? Why will he allow certain things to happen? Listen, I exactly cannot answer those questions for you, but all I know is he is still a good God. He's an amazing God. Yeah, we're not going to get too much of a long conversation and debate about why he isn't a good God. But nevertheless, for me personally, my relationship with him helps me to be able to navigate through life a lot more easier than if I didn't know him. I know he exists. I know someday when all this life is all said and done with, I will be able to sit down and see him face to face. So I know he exists. I believe he exists. I don't impose my beliefs on others, but in the same sense, I know where it has taken me and where it's taken me, just having that personal relationship with my God. So this came from that. So I don't want to paraphrase these particular verses. I want to read it to you verbatim, as quick as I possibly can. So this is from Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verses 1 through 8. For those of you who've read these passages before, you understand, and if you haven't, you can go and look it up. So that's Ecclesiastes 3 verses 1 through 8, and it says, there's a time for everything and a season for every activity under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build. Now, some of these passages, I know, please don't take it out of context as well. I know someone is saying, oh, there's a time to kill. I don't think, not in the sense of us going out there to killing people per se. A time to weep, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to refrain, a time to search and a time to give up, not quitting, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear down and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. So there is a season, there's a time for everything, but nowhere in there that it exactly said there's a time to quit. So in this time, while you may be tempted to quit because you don't know how long this is going to last, there's some of you out there are worried, but I want you to take courage. I want you to continue to have hope. I want you to continue to see the light at the end of the tunnel, because the light will come. And even today we woke up, that means there is light. So there's never a time to quit. There is no time to quit, but instead it's time for us to maybe even to be in better preparation. Maybe there were some things and some ideas that we had before that we quite didn't work on those ideas, that we quite didn't truly take those ideas to make it beneficial in our lives. So this is the time to be able to do that and go back in your thinking vault. Because for me, one of the things that it's making me to realize in my life that how unprepared I am financially. Because if this was to last where I wasn't working either, and it was to last for a year or 2 years, financially, the reality is I am not that prepared. So it's really making me think a lot about that. And likewise, I want you to go into your thinking vault. This is not a time to quit, but instead is a time to really just improve on some ideas, improve on some things, see what you can do to make an even better change in your life during this time, so that when this is all said and done with, you will be in a better place than when this all first started. So there is no time to quit. There is a time for every season. As you see, yes, there are people out there who are mourning. We keep those people in prayers. There are people who are infected. We keep those people in prayers, and not to be insensitive to those things. For those of us who might not be maybe infected personally, but every person is affected by this. You might have a family member who's infected, and you might have a family member who has died from this. I keep you in my prayers, and I just want to continue to keep you encouraged, that you stay encouraged. And do not lose hope, do not lose courage, and do not lose the light in you, because there is not a time to quit. There is no time to quit, because this too shall come to pass. So I encourage you today, keep everybody in prayer, and go out there. Let's all go create something extraordinary, because you are extraordinary. I will talk to y'all next week. As you can see, I got to get to work. Talk to y'all. Bye-bye. Mwah.